welcome. Shabbat shalom to all of those who observe the Sabbath. For those who don't, sorry for you. It's awesome, but we'll celebrate for you. My name is Jaguar Wright, and I have a very, very, very special friend in the house tonight. Let me get my mood music going, and I'm going to get to the comments. Salute to everyone. All right. Now, as you guys can see, this thumbnail. I'm loving this thumbnail. The Ultimate Truth Challenge. Prayer Warriors Edition, brought to you by the Jaguar Wright Effect. And I can't think of a better warrior for truth than this woman that I'm about to give to you right now. Ladies and noblemen, I want to introduce you. Hold on a second. Let me see if I'm halfway human yet. Here we are.
There she is.
I said that I was, a mascot for my man. And I'm like, we're getting married. Of course, I'm going to rep my man. And it is a great sweatshirt to anyone who would like to get a set in the West and get out of your feelings. Please hit us up on the Patreon.
What's sorry?
Wait a second, Mama. It's so good to have you here.
It's so good to be here, Jag. You know I love you so much. Blessings to you. Blessings to Mr. Odell.
And I'm going to get ready to let you have the floor. Shout out to all 560 people in the room. Welcome everyone from Facebook, from TikTok, from Instagram, and of course here in the YouTube community. This woman is a treasure. She's a treasure to the internet. She's a treasure to mass media. We actually met on Fox Soul on the Tammy Mack show doing commentary. The both of us, we were there, on our yay, very heavy on our yay day. And guess what? I think they started hating on the both of us after that.
Yeah, because they never asked us back, so.
Again, we're at another monumental time in media, and you and I kind of had the same opinion about the 47th president-elect. And once again, it's hard for people to just accept the truth. So I'm going to be quiet, and I'm going to give you the floor, and I'm going to let you explain what this live is really all about, which is why I titled it, The Truth Behind the Lies. Narrated by Dr. McGlover. I can't wait. The author of Stop Lying, the book, and the sequel coming to you very soon. And tell the truth. Truth. I'm going to have the rough draft done. I can't wait till you see it. I think you're going to love it.
Yeah.
By the way, is it too cheesy for me to use my own song lyrics?
Is it what?
Is it too cheesy for me to incorporate some of my song lyrics into the foreword?
Whatever you want. Whatever you want to do the foreword.
Love. No, there's parts of my song Self-Love that really line up with what I got to preview. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, this is why I love you, because me and you we here. We like Martin. We here.
We here. We like this, son.
And listen to me. If I was gonna be a doctor, a laureate, I would want to be you.
Oh, I appreciate that.
No, seriously, you're like my rock star. Like in the mental health, I love you, and you're amazing. And before I let you go, one of my apprentices didn't even know that we knew each other. And she was like, oh my God, she said, I went to her seminar. Oh my God. So before you go, I told her to come up at the end, and hopefully you guys get to have a moment.
Okay. Yeah, she got to. Yeah, you got to come up.
All right. All right. So I'm camming down. And please go in. Dr. McGlover. The truth behind the lies.
Thank you so much, Jag. Thank you so much. So, hey, y'all. As Jag already said, Shabbat Shalom. Happy Sabbath for you Seventh-day Adventists that are in here. I was born and raised Seventh-day Adventist. So, Dad called me pretty much on a whim, like she does, and said, she wants me to come on and really talk to you guys about some of these situations that you are in, the situations that you are having as it pertains to some trauma, either childhood trauma and or trauma that is actually happening in your life right now. Jag, you pushing buttons over there.
My bad. I'm trying to make you bigger because I want people to get into you. I found it. I'm done.
You found it? Well, you got me like zoomed in like crazy. Scale it back a little bit.
Oh, man. Okay. All right. Let me find another one.
You can see my molars. Okay, that's good.
Okay.
That's good. That's good.
Right.
That's good.
I'm done.
So a lot of the stuff that's been going on right now, of course, the Puffy situation is huge. And all these different scandals and all this other stuff is coming on. It's coming up. And so a lot of people are questioning, the legitimacy, authenticity of these things that are going on. Well, what I'm here to tell you is that it really does not matter whether somebody believes you or not. And the reason why it does not matter is because the trauma that has affected your life and has affected your mind and has affected your subconscious will inherently affect your physical and your mental body. So this whole idea of having to prove, and I'm so glad that we're having this conversation right before Thanksgiving. The whole idea of you having to prove to someone what happened to you or your perception of what happened to you. So let's go into that a little bit more. You may have had, let's say somebody said something to you, and the way in which you perceived it was not the way in which they intended it. But the way in which they intended it really doesn't have anything to do with the way that you perceive it. Am I talking to anybody? Right? So what you have to learn to deal with is how you perceive something and why you perceive it that way. That's a part of the healing process. You don't have to have somebody validate, recognize, and or verify, if you will, how you feel about something. You actually do have a right to feel the way that you feel. Where I come in is I come in and say, well, why did that situation make you feel this way? And why is it that you can't heal from it? And the majority of the time, why you can't heal from something is because you're trying to get somebody to apologize for what they did and or to take blame and accountability for what they did, which is holding up your healing. And the longer you wait for somebody to validate and or take responsibility for or account for what they've done to you, the longer it takes for you to heal, which is doing nothing but destroying your own life. Am I talking to anybody in here? So you think that by not healing, you're hurting them. But I got news for you, sweetheart. By not healing, you're hurting yourself. You are not hurting the people that hurt you by continuously being in emotional, physical, and mental pain. You're only hurting yourself. The best way to get back at somebody that has hurt you is to heal yourself. So much so that you can now strategically think of the best way, the best strategy. You cannot do it when you are in fight and flight. You cannot get any type of comeuppance, if you will, when you're in a state of fight or flight all the time. And the majority of you are in a survival mode. This is why you are overwhelmed all the time. This is why you can't sleep at night. This is why you are ticked off so easily. You're a ticking time bomb. You're not calm because you are so busy looking for your mama to apologize for the way that she treated you. You are so busy looking for your father to apologize because he wasn't there for you. He didn't protect you. You're so busy looking for the person sexually mistreated you when you were. Listen, the first thing you need to understand is bad people do bad. Can I cuss? Because I really want to right now. Bad people do bad stuff. So these same bad people, you are now looking to them to be a good person and come back to you 20 years later, 15 years later, and apologize? That's not reality. It's not reality, and it doesn't make any sense. And you are now putting your life back in the hands. Now watch this now. You're putting your life back into the hands of the predators that mistreated you in the first place. Why would you do that? Does that make any sense to you? Of course it doesn't. So what you have to do is you have to become in charge of your own healing. You have to become in charge of your own power. You must stop allowing people to tell you, oh, you're exaggerating. Oh, it wasn't that big of a deal. Oh, I was an alcoholic at the time. What did you expect from me? I did the best I can. You gotta cut those conversations short. Matter of fact, you shouldn't be having those conversations at all. Because you're in charge of your own life. You're in charge of your own healing. And when you put your healing in the hands of somebody who already broke your heart, then you're asking for more trouble. In no way do I believe that you should just get over it. I believe 110% that you should heal from it so that you can take your life back. You need to grab your life by the balls and take it back. And stop allowing your past to ruin your future. And the only reason why you are allowing that to happen is because you think that you need somebody else to give you permission to do that. You think that you need somebody else to tell you that they're sorry for what they did. But a sorry son of a gun is never going to apologize. So get over it. Get over that part of it. Stop needing it. Stop expecting it. Stop wanting it. Stop desiring it. Say to yourself, I am free. I am free from the need of somebody to validate how I feel. Say that to yourself. I am free. Say it now. I am free from the need of somebody having to validate how I feel. Some people have an experience of a car accident. They could have gotten into a car accident when they were 5 years old. And that car accident created a childhood trauma for them. And that childhood trauma, still to this day, upsets them whenever they're in a car. That may be a very small experience in comparison to someone whose mom pimped them out to her drug dealer. But who am I to say, or who is somebody else to say, that the person who got in the car accident, that their trauma is less than the person whose mom pimped them out to the drug dealer? You cannot say that one person's experience is more dramatic than the other person, because based on how it hurt and or affected the soul and the spirit and the conscious and subconscious mind, it varies. So whatever it is that you have gone through, whatever it is that you're going through, you need to allow yourself to say, this is how I feel. And it's okay for me to feel that way. It is now my responsibility to heal from that. I'm going to take the time to heal myself. I don't need anybody to tell me, yes, I did do this, or I'm sorry I did that, or excuse this or excuse that, or whatever. Because most of the time, when you begin to talk to people about what you've been through, they come up with every excuse. They got more excuses than a nigga going to jail. They got every excuse as to why they hurt you. So most of the time, it's not even necessary to have the conversation. You need to have the conversation with yourself. You need to have the conversation with God. You need to align yourself with your own self-love. And you cannot get self-love in a place of continual pathology. And you cannot get self-love in a place of continual shame. It always boggles my mind that the victims have more shame than the perpetrator. It boggles my mind. You're the one that was abused. You're the one that was mistreated, but you're the one who cowers in shame. Why in the world are you ashamed and you're the victim? You need to get your behind up off your shoulders. Look yourself in the mirror and say, what I've been through is not who I am. And I am no longer going to allow that person or that thing to ruin my joy, my peace, my happiness, my self-value, and my self-worth. I have given too much of my life away. I've given too much of my joy away. I've given too much away to somebody and something that does not deserve my time. Much less does it deserve my life. And you most certainly, even if you don't believe it at first, you have to keep telling yourself every single day in the mirror. Look at yourself in the mirror. You need to get to know yourself. Some of y'all don't even look in the mirror because of shame, because of guilt. You so busy trying to keep and make sure that you don't forgive the other person that you forgot to forgive yourself. You are literally doing psychological self-mutilation. Hurting yourself with these negative thoughts, this negative narrator in your mind. I talk about that in my book, Stop Lying. There's a negative narrator in your mind. Every time you try to do something, every time you try to go to the gym, every time you try to meditate, every time you try to go take a walk at the park, every time you try to do something for yourself, it's a negative narrator in the back of your mind telling you, oh girl, you know you're tired. Well, girl, you know when you get to the gym, you don't even know how to use that equipment. So girl, don't even go. You're going to embarrass yourself. Girl, why would you go to the park by yourself? You gonna go to the park by yourself? People gonna be looking at you like, why are you at the park by yourself? Every time you try to go on a cleanse, every time you try to go and go on a diet or try to start eating healthy, try to start drinking water, well, you know you're only gonna do it for 1 or 2 days. I don't even know why you're trying. The negative narrator in your mind, you've got to shut that negative narrator in your mind. You've got to shut it up. And the only way that you can shut that negative narrator in your mind is to change behavior. It's to change behavior. But you cannot change your behavior until you actually love yourself. And if you're not in love with yourself, that's okay. Just love yourself a little bit more every day. Do one thing every day that makes you proud of yourself. I don't care what it is. Wash your face, put a mask on your face and say, you know what? I'm proud of myself. I'm helping my skin. Drink 2 extra bottles of water and say, you know what? I'm proud of myself. I had 2 extra bottles of water today. Do 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups and say, you know what? Damn, I'm proud of myself. I did 100. Come on now. Do one thing every day that you can say, I did this for myself because I love myself. It's simple stuff. Get up, get dressed, especially for those of you who work from home. Y'all got to get out of this idea that you can do everything in your damn pajamas. Get your ass up, get dressed, smell good, do your hair, put something on your face, because you're doing it for you. You're not doing it for the job. You're doing it for yourself. Y'all done forgot how to look cute. You forgot how to put on some heels. Most y'all can't even walk in pumps no more. COVID done got you flat on your feet. You need to get your ass up and get out and do something. And regain this bring back this self-value. You need to bring back this self-appreciation. And no one, not even me, is going to do it for you. You must do it for yourself. So whether people believe that Puffy shot him in the face, or whether people believe that somebody essayed somebody or whatever, it doesn't matter. Mind your business. If people don't believe that your uncle touched you when you was a little girl, it don't matter. If people don't believe that your pastor was having sex with your auntie, it don't matter. What matters is that whatever happened, that you heal from it. And that you protect your peace at all costs. That you protect your mind at all costs. I have healing childhood workshops. My next one, I will send the information to Jaguar so that you guys can be a part. It is a 2-day workshop. I do it via Zoom. I do some in person as well. But I will make sure that you guys are aware of the next healing childhood trauma workshops that I do, because you have no idea how you are affecting your body, your physical body. Inflammation, arthritis, heart disease, diabetes. These things come, these fibroid tumors. This stuff comes from worry. It comes from worry. It comes from pain. It comes from trauma. It comes from your need to get an apology. You got to stop that. You need to love yourself enough to say, you know what? I don't need it. It would be nice to have it, but I don't need it. I'm good. I'm going to take care of myself because I love myself. I'm going to get up. I'm going to get out. I'm going to do something. I'm going to wash my face, brush my teeth. Some of y'all, it's just as easy as going to get the white strips. You walk around with yellow teeth because somebody did something to you when you were 5. Girl, if you don't go get them white strips on your mouth, take care of yourself. Take care of your mind. Get off of social media. Stop letting people put stuff in your consciousness that is not helping you. You need to help yourself. Is this making sense to anybody? It is my purpose to remind you. I call myself the reminder. purpose to remind you of how absolutely wonderful, amazing, and downright impressive that you are. You are more than enough. You always have been, and you always will be. But it is up to you to demonstrate your own value. The Bible says, show yourself approved. That means you should be approved to you. You don't need validation outside of you. You need validation within you. That's confidence. That's where your confidence comes from. It comes from inside of you. It is time for you to live and stop just existing. It is time for you to live. It's time. You're not on this live by coincidence. You're on this live because it's time for you to stop being in pain. It's time. Because I promise you, the pain that you're in is not hurting anybody but yourself. The people that hurt you, they're not even thinking about you. And half of the people that hurt you are probably dead. They're not thinking about you. So it's time for you to let it go so that you can heal. I'm Megan McGlover. I love y'all so much. We have a new guest on. This is fantastic. My book is called Stop Lying. You can get it at stoplyingbook.com. Stoplyingbook.com. Thank you, Jaguar. I love you, baby.
No, I want to thank you because I can't think of a better way to start this live with the truth behind the lies, with someone who's such a forward thinker when it comes to just being transparent and knowing that your authenticity is the only receipt you need.
Right.
Ashe. I want to introduce you to another prayer warrior of ours over here, the main prayer warrior in the house, Natania Rueben, Dr. Megan McGlover. She's going to be working with us on that little project of ours. So wonderful. This is great. I'm glad you guys are getting to meet. Please, I'm muting up. Dialogue.
First and foremost, Queen, let me say that was dynamic. And it was the truth that so many people needed to hear. I promise you. You touched not only everyone listening, but me as well. Oh. We all have to, because I suffered for 25 years and I traversed for 25 years. I would say I probably suffered for the first 10 with why don't they believe me? And then one day I woke up and was like, I got over it. My grandmother freed me and I got over her. Yeah. But it was not an easy road. The journey was quite arduous. And so thank you for speaking truth to power and letting people know it's okay and it's safe to let things go. We've been conditioned and socialized to believe whatever your bags are, you carry them with you forever. Not so. No. Not so. And I appreciate you. And I look forward to all of the magnificent work we will do together.
Yes, me as well. I am so excited about what Jag is putting together, Jag and Mr. Odell.
Absolutely.
I'm just super duper excited about that. And we've gotten to this idea that if we don't heal from it, then it still exists. I can't heal from it because if I let it go, then it didn't happen. No, baby.
Yep.
If you let it go, let me give y'all a trick. If you let it go, the karma of where it should go, it will go. Yep. Karma and or consequence is like water.
Yep.
And it will flow
where
whoever's open.
That's right.
So if you're open, if you are subconsciously, consciously open, then that consequence, which is energy, is going to flow to wherever the attention is. If you constantly put attention on your past, then that energy is going to flow to whichever person is given the most attention. It doesn't matter if it's good or bad and all that other stuff. Get out of that good and bad stuff. That's your problem. Mm-hmm. You think because you're so good and that person is so bad. If you read the Bible says that God reigns on the just and the unjust. So you're running around here talking about, oh yeah, it's gonna happen to white people. No, it ain't. Stop. Just stop that. It's going to happen to whoever's paying the most attention to it. Because where your energy goes, where your attention goes, your energy flows. So if you want whatever comeuppance, then you have to block it from you. You have to clog up your pipe so that the water will then flow to where it's supposed to go. You are literally an open vessel to your continuous pain because you refuse to heal from it. You've got to redirect the universe and say, don't bring that over here no more. I don't want it anymore. I don't want any more of that pain. I don't want to remember it. I don't want to, I'm done with that. I want you to take it where it belongs.
That's right.
I tell the universe all the time, I'm not involved in that. Take me out. I wasn't even there. Take me out of that situation. Put it to where it belongs. But you have to instruct the universe. You have to instruct and literally say, do this, do that, do this, do that. This is why the Bible says, and I talked a lot about this in my new book, Tell the Truth. Mm-hmm. Jesus said, but who do you say I am?
That's right.
That question was not, who do you say Jesus is? It literally says, who do you say that I am? If I say that I am Megan McGlover, I'm not saying I am Jesus. I am saying I am that I am. Mm-hmm. You have to instruct and reintroduce yourself as a healed person. You don't need to keep introducing yourself as a broken person, because if you keep introducing yourself as a broken person, broke shit is going to keep coming to you.
Mm-hmm. Indeed.
You need to tell the universe, not only with your mouth, not only with your mind, but with your behavior, how you treat yourself. The universe is watching you. And if you continue to mistreat yourself, the universe is going to say, oh, she must like that. You must like it because you keep doing it. Right. As soon as you begin to change what you say about yourself and how you treat yourself, I promise you, you will have a better day. You will sleep better at night. You will begin to meet people. You will start having spiritual coincidences and alignment, and things will go much, much better for you. But you're the one that says, well, I'm hurt. I know you hurt. It hurts. How long you want to hurt, baby?
That's right.
How much longer you want to do this? Because we can go all day. We can go on for the rest of your life. You're going to end up turning into a bitter old lady that nobody wants to be around, nobody loves, nobody wants to talk to. This is what's going to happen to you. I'm going to say this and then I'm going to get off of here because I got to go. I was in Dallas yesterday and I walked over to Target. I need to get some things. And there was a elderly lady, seasoned citizen. She was in that little scooter and she was extremely overweight. She was probably about 150, maybe 200 pounds overweight. And she was in the cashier line with me. And she said to me, baby, could you reach down and get me that bag of chips? It's a bag of chips that she couldn't reach because she was in the scooter. I looked at her and I said, you want that bag of chips? And she said, yes. I said to her, now, ma'am, I don't know this lady. Okay. I said, ma'am, you know good and damn well you don't need this bag of chips. She said, oh, I know I don't, but I just really want them. I said, I'm going to reach down and get you this bag of chips. I said, but I'm going to cuss you out from this cash register all the way to your car. I said, because it doesn't even make any sense that you getting a bag of chips that you know good daggone well you don't need. So then I start going through her cart, because now I'm putting the stuff on the belt for her, and I'm just cussing her out. You don't need this, you don't need that. I said, you ain't got no water in your basket. Also, I'm just going off on the lady. And this lady is saying to me, she said, well, my goodness, I must have gotten the wrong line. I said, no, you got in the right line. You got in the right line. God put you in this line so I can cuss you out. I said, ma'am, this doesn't make any sense. I said, because you're causing yourself a problem. You're causing the problem. So then I said, so what's going on? I said, have you been checking your sugar? Are you checking your high blood pressure? Blah, blah, blah. She said, well, I need to lose weight. I said, yes, ma'am, you do. You do need to lose weight. I said, so why aren't you walking? Why aren't you taking care of yourself? She said, well, I have lymphedema. I looked down at her feet. Her feet were swollen about 5 times the size. Wow. She had them wrapped in, those, it wasn't really an ace bandage. It's really what the lymphedema specialists, they wrap your feet to try to keep the swelling down, to keep the water retention down. But this wrap, I could tell, had been there for at least 2, 3, 4 weeks. And which then told me she's not cleaning. Mm-hmm. I walked that lady outside of her car and I said, ma'am, I said, I know that your daughter is not coming by anymore. I said, I know your grandchildren don't come by and help you. She started crying. She said, how did you know? I said, I just know. I said, but ma'am, you have a lot of life to live. Well, I'm 71. I said, I don't care how old you are. You have a lot of life to live. I said, and the fact that you have enough energy to bring your tail to Target to get some chips and a whole bunch of that you don't need. I said, but you won't take yourself to the YMCA and go do your water therapy. I said, the fact that you have not bathed yourself in 2 or 3 weeks, it is not because she smelled. It wasn't because she smelled. I knew she didn't bathe because the foot wrap. I said, the fact that you are not bathing, you're not taking care of yourself. I said, this is unacceptable behavior. It's unacceptable. Mm-hmm. I said, you pick and choose what you want to do, and everything that you're choosing is the bad thing. It's the wrong thing for you to do, but then you want to sit up here and complain. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. So she says to me, she says, well, are you going to call and check on me? I said, give me your number. I'm going to call and check on you. I said, ma'am, if you're not doing what I asked you to do, I promise you I will fly back down here to Dallas, Texas. And I promise you, I said, ma'am, I said, you don't know me. I will come to your house and we will have a problem. I said, you are causing yourself more problems. You already have issues. Why are you causing more problems? Well, you right. You people that are on here, you're going to end up like that 70-something-year-old lady because you keep causing problems. Stop causing problems. I told her, put your feet in that Epsom salt water, soak your feet every day, take that compression sock off, then put your feet in the Epsom salt water every day. She said, well, how am I going to get the compression back on? I said, you need to call your insurance company and make sure that they send a lymphedema specialist to come and wrap your feet up. I said, and if they don't, then take your tail over there to urgent care and have them wrap it up. I said, ma'am, you'll come to Target and get some chips and some frozen Tostitas and all the rest of this crap that was in your basket, but you will not take a shower, soak your feet because nobody will come over. I don't want to hear this. I'm sick of the victim mentality. I'm sick of it because all it does is hurt you. It doesn't hurt anybody else.
Indeed.
You want to sit up here and tell me that you can't do nothing because your daughter won't come over, but it wasn't your daughter that went to Target to pick up the chips. So you can obviously do something.
That's right.
So what I'm telling everybody in here is do something good for yourself.
That's right.
Stop doing bad things for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You keep doing bad things for yourself and then saying, oh, I'm suffering. But baby, you're suffering because you keep doing bad stuff. stop the train. The train is barreling down the tracks. You got to stop the train. Just stop the train. Even if you don't know what to do, you know what not to do. So stop doing the bad stuff, and then the good stuff will start coming in your mind.
Mm-hmm. And I believe they do know what to do. People fall into a sense of wallowing in self-pity, and they are not motivated to move.
Yeah.
You know, it's like this old Billie Holiday song, "Good Morning Heartache."
Yes.
Good morning heartache was became a friend.
Good morning, heartache.
Yes.
Good morning, heartache. You know, I grew up jazz, so you know I know that record. And I just want to take a second to say, Megan, you once again are always the cup that runneth over. I'm so glad we had you for the extra time. And I'm also glad to introduce you to that special apprentice of mine who is a big fan of yours. Grace, meet Dr. Megan McGlover.
Salvana, how are you?
Hello, how are you doing, Grace?
I am doing amazing. I'm so honored to even be able to speak with you. I told Diddy this. I was in your first healing class when you offered it through Michi.
Yay!
So when she said that you were going to be on the show, I was like, no, I gotta be there.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yes, ma'am.
Grace and Mercy, I'm so glad to talk to you again, because obviously I've already spoken with you. That is so good. What a wonderful confirmation, you know, for me that I'm actually doing what I'm supposed to be doing. That is really good.
Oh my
and
God.
I cherish your words today even better. Like, I'm glad I didn't miss it because I'm not the only one that felt it in my chest. I know I'm not the only one.
So how have you been since the workshop?
Wow. Well, with the first workshop, I did a lot of healing work from then, but the last 2 weeks have been difficult. Long story short, I was incarcerated for something I did not commit, and I took that opportunity to be a light to those that I was incarcerated with, and listening to you tonight gave me a certain light that I'm so thankful that I have in this moment, because God has been working very strong.
Right.
Very strong. And as difficult as that situation is, because it's very brand new, I'm walking in the right direction.
Good.
And I'm very humbled and honored to know that God placed me there for a purpose.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't wait to share that purpose with all of you.
Good. Very, very good. This is what I want you to do as it pertains to that situation.
Yes, ma'am.
I want you to think about it in a way of, well, I must have been not paying attention to me. And God had to stop me and get my attention so that I could pay attention to me. Because obviously you were in a place that you had no business being in. Or you were with somebody that you had no business being with. Obviously. So that then tells me that you were at the wrong place at the wrong time, because you were not doing for you. You were doing for somebody else.
Yes.
Would that be
and
correct?
that Oh yes, no, like I completely agree. Like that was all I told myself the entire time.
Okay, good. So now
yes,
you know
ma'am.
the lesson. And you only took 2 weeks to learn it. So that's good, right? So it took you 2 weeks to learn it. The lesson is stop putting other people in front of you. And when the answer is no, then damn it, say no and stick to no. That's what you need to learn. Now, the next thing that you need to, when you look at this situation, do not look at this situation with sadness. Because if you look at the situation with sadness and regret, you're going to get more sadness and regret. You need to look at this situation in 110% gratitude, and not the kind of gratitude of, oh, I'm just so grateful that not that kind. You need to look at the situation in the kind of gratitude that says, oh my goodness, I am loved so much by the universe that I learned a lesson in just 2 weeks. Most people it takes 2 years, 20 years, 15 years. Oh my goodness, I must really be that important to the universe that God is saying, you know what? I just need 2 weeks of your time. Let me get to you. I learned that lesson. I'm really, really grateful. Wow. And then I was in there doing God's work, which then helped me to understand my value. So much so that now I know a whole nother parameter about myself. I have more value because now I know I can help people in prison. I can help people in prison. I can do this. You understand? That's how you have to look at the situation. Because if you look at the situation from a lower vibration, then you'll stay in that low vibration. You have to reverse it. This happened to me for a good reason. And you take that reason. You don't take it as the old grandmother at church. Well, baby, no, not like that. You take it and say, this was a power move. It was a power move. God had to get my attention. You got it now. Now I know my no's are no's, because now you know that your intuition is very powerful and it's trying to protect you. Because you were not supposed to be wherever you were. And you knew you weren't supposed to be there, but you didn't do it. You went on ahead and well, it's okay. Well, he want me to go over there. She want me to go over there. It's going to be okay. And your tuition told you don't go, but you went anyway. And you did it anyway, so I had to sit your ass down. So now you know when your intuition says no, the answer is no. You know how important you are, how valuable you are to the universal mind. That you have self-value, and now you've adapted a new skill. That's how you look at it. So don't be over there feeling bad about yourself because you went to jail for 2 weeks. Jaguar has been to jail more times than we can count, and she feels good about it. So,
look, they had me in there. Look, that's how I knew that Odell was the one, because he bonded me out. And when I walked out, he was sitting there just like I knew. And it was so funny because when I was in there and me and the guards would get to going and I would start cussing their asses out, they would sit up there and say, don't you got a man? He out there trying to get you. I said, he is. I would stop. Nigga. He is.
Hey, babe, my man outside. I don't need, you know.
Girl, listen to me.
That's for
they say my man ain't got no neck. He got one now. I squeezed him so hard around his neck. I separated whole sections in the vertebrae, child. I hugged these so tight. See,
you say you separated his vertebrae. That's what love will do. Love will elongate your neck, baby.
Oh, yes, girl.
You hear me what I say?
That's exactly what Khaled said to Diddy. Allegedly, no Diddy.
Oh.
No Diddy.
My point is.
No Diddy. Well, I love y'all. I got to get to salsa. We have a salsa festival going on out here, and anybody that knows me knows I love salsa. And it's a live bands going on tonight. So I love y'all so much, but I got to
don't forget to hit them with the
love you.
You know I will. You already know I will. Y'all know I will. So I love you so much. Y'all continue this live. I will be back soon. We'll let you know the release date of my new book, Tell the Truth. Jaguar Wright. I asked her to do the foreword on the book. She graciously said yes. I am so happy about that. And my old book, stoplinebook.com, stoplinebook.com. You can get it there. I love y'all. I love you. I love you. Thank you so much, Mr. Odell. I appreciate you in the background.
If you want us to put up your Cash App, just tell everybody, buy the book.
Oh, my Cash App is M. McGlover. M. McGlover. M McGlover. If we have any mods in the chat, please put that in the chat. And if you'd like to donate to the Stop Lying cause, get into it. And I love you, sis. I love you too. I love everybody on here. Love yourself.
You are loved and cherished.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.
She's so
I got awesome women in my life. I do.
Amazing. Amazing.
Children, if y'all doubt it at all, please go follow that woman. When I tell y'all, that is exactly who she is, and I love every piece of her.
Mm-hmm. When she speaks, it's like thunder roars.
Yes.
Me, if I had went into it, can you imagine? That would be me as a therapist. If I was a therapist, that would be me.
You are a therapist.
I would be in therapy every day, all day, baking snacks.
And you're
coming over on weekends. Ugh.
Now, Grace, this is Natania Rueben.
But you are still a therapist.
Oh.
And your voice roars every time you speak.
Yes.
Anywhere. I have people that are hitting me up from Gambia, Switzerland, New Zealand, and they all say, Jaguar, you are worldwide. You are globally known, sis. That goes for you to understand your power as well. Understand your majesty as well. Not if I were a therapist or a counselor, you are one.
Thank you.
Ashe.
Asheo. I grapple with the idea of, I hate the word fame.
Me too.
I appreciate the words, like support, acknowledgement.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even really like the word mentor because of where it comes from.
Mm-hmm.
And I definitely hate the word fan because it derives from fanaticism. And none of us should be fanatical about anything other than God. So I work very hard to maintain my humanity because I want people to not just see me, but to see themselves as me. So every time I hear someone from around the world mention me or say me, I don't hear them acknowledging me. I hear them acknowledging the Jaguar inside of them.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, so I'm glad I'm everywhere.
I can relate to you. I'll tell you the strangest thing that happened to me this past week. 2 different people was like, oh, you're a celebrity. I was like, what? Listen, I like that. Okay. I ain't nobody's celebrity. I am just a vessel for God. They were like, you're a celebrity. I was like, nah, I rebuke that. I can't even receive that. It's not how I see myself. I don't present like that. That's not my mission here. My mission here is to be a light bringer, a vessel for God, and whoever receives me receives that. I won't walk into that vein, because when you become a celebrity, it is a setup for people to wait to tear you down.
And not only that, it is a setup to get you to break the first commandment. Thou shalt not have any idols. The simple fact that there is a show called American Idol, and the religious communities haven't spoken against it at all in any way, is absolutely amazing, because it is literally encouraging people to totally disregard the first commandment.
And like I said, people are spiritual hypocrites. Like, it's a powerful statement. A lot of people get rocked to their socks when I say, but it's real. It's real. People are spiritual hypocrites. They will espouse one thing and do a whole different.
Well, I would like to try something a little different.
Sure.
Grace is one of my apprentices. She was also blessed with the ability to see.
Okay.
She does do tarot. I can speak for her. She is a vessel of God. And, after that witch tried to make a mockery, and just in case no one knows who I'm talking about, I'm not going to put a lot of time into it, but this is the witch in which I speak. Oh.
I don't even know who she is. I had somebody on my channel towards the end talk about. I was like, I have no idea who they're talking about.
Is
lady on Facebook
completely demonic.
I've never seen her.
Scoffs at the name Jesus. She hates the name and is flippant and disrespectful and blasphemous when you say Yeshua. And she told me herself that she hails to Dionysus.
Well, then I absolutely would not know her, because I don't play those.
She also has been playing about my son. She says she's been talking to my deceased son, and he came to her, and then she had a whole live where she said he came into the room, and because he didn't do what he wanted her to do, her light started flickering, and then her live went off. She got real dramatic with it.
Wow.
She's also the one who did a live Zoom call with Misha and Adria. And she filmed what was supposed to be a prep conversation before they did a reading with her, because apparently they came to her for a spiritual reading. And instead she filmed them. And then she aired it as content on her channel in the wee hours of the night during the witching hours.
Switch her out, Jack. Switch out her picture and bring us back up. Yeah.
That's what she did to those women. And then she sat there and mocked and scorned them. And the only reason I'm addressing that at all is because she had the audacity to say that I got these women together and I put them up to it. She literally, I have nothing to do with that conversation. I have nothing to do with these women's individual stories. I'm not even the one that brought them to the internet.
And that must be what people were saying in my comments, because I didn't get to read them all. For some reason, towards the end of my live, my entire stream disappeared. And it was still running.
Targeted, and you got sent out a bullet on your StreamYard. And they do it to me all the time. And they always do it when one of their lies that they don't want exposed on YouTube is being exposed. Notice the comment that was left up on your screen to be stuck there while you were locked out of your own StreamYard. I know they've done it to me.
I never even put that comment up. I was like,
I know. They put it up. I'm telling you,
crazy.
I don't know why people don't want to believe.
I believe it.
That our enemies who have brain chips in their head are sitting here playing Dr. Frankenstein with the truth.
I believe it, because when I tell you that has never happened, I could not press end stream. My comments disappeared.
I bet you had to reboot your whole setup.
I did a reboot, and then it popped up with a whole white screen. Like,
wow.
They threw a bullet out on you, girl.
I believe
they did.
And then after I sat there, I was like, oh, well, hopefully it's up, because I didn't see the minute counter anymore.
Oh, but your mods was in there. Loke was in there holding you down.
Always does. Shout out to
me. Listen to me. The big nerds were holding you down.
Nerd alert.
Oh,
nerd alert. I kept
and I'm just like, I don't understand why people have such a hard time seeing that this is not only orchestrated, but it's generated. This has gotten to the point where it's become ridiculous now, where the trolling has just become a way of life, where cyber stalking has become normal behavior.
Want to hear about cyber stalking? My friend Chester that came up and prayed when I was going through and when I was being overcome. Do you know they locked her out of her phone instantly? She couldn't even make a call after she got off the live. He was frantic.
Ooh, rebuke you. Ooh.
But like, I'm cyber stalked. They'll hack me. They'll do all kinds of stuff. She had to go on her, I guess her computer or something, through her Wi-Fi, call her son on Messenger for him to call me. Not only did it lock her out, it wouldn't even allow her to reach me through Wi-Fi. I was locked out. Her son had to do it. And he was like, my mama over here talking about somebody hacked her phone. I don't believe it. And I said, no, Junior, it's true. They are hacking your phone. They've done it to me 1,000,000 times. And he was like, really? I said, yes. And she was so afraid. She said, am I safe? I said, you're safe. This is targeted individual behavior. They want to harass you. They want to block you and harass you for standing in the gap. I said, be not dismayed. You are a woman of a prayer warrior. These are the tactics of man. They don't have dominion over us. And any assignment of any attack against me or any of you guys or anybody who stands in the gap for us, I cancel that attack. They don't have dominion. Certainly don't. She was astonished. It happened in real time.
I mean, I've had nets thrown over my stuff, which is why I have a IT wizard fiance who knows how to build Faraday cages.
Okay, well,
Like, it's insane that this is what we have to do, but this is what it is. And you know, it's but I was hoping that I need to take a break and just run off for 1 second. And I was wondering if I could leave you two lovely ladies to have a conversation, because my dear Grace here has gone through quite the ordeal, and I hate what's happening to her. Not only that, I do believe that she was hurt because of her work with me. Oh, gratitude. And I think they're going to start coming for her now. So I was hoping that while she's just freshly home, that maybe you two could take this time and maybe you could just walk her through.
Absolutely.
You know, because we had a moment and I felt her spirit and I called her right away. And she said, Titi, did you know? How did you know? And I said, you know what? It's okay. I've been there. I told you this was going to happen. Like me said, I've been in jail a lot of times. I know how it goes. I got it, you know. It was so funny because the one thing that I always made sure that I did while she was away was I would make her laugh. I would tell a joke, something funny or crazy that happened in jail, one of my worst days, you know, and I could hear the tension either way. And then I would always say, remember, this is an education. This is a test. You are here to learn something. Be careful what you let jump on you, and jump as much of God off onto everyone every chance you get. And she started telling me about her prayer groups with the Daily Bread. And but I was glad that I got to be there. But you have another perspective and aspect. So at this point in time, I'm going to just withdraw myself from the stage for a second. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to give you a conversation with Grace featuring Natania Rueben on how to deal with persecution in the face of lies and scandal.
Ashayo. My pleasure. I am first and foremost, I'm so happy that I'm able to even talk to you, minister to you, or just have this exchange of energy. Here's one thing I heard when you said that when Dr. Megan was saying you were where you weren't supposed to be. God will send you a whisper. If you don't heed the whisper, he's going to give you a roar. If you don't heed the whisper, he will give you a brick. And so clearly, God had given me a whisper and a roar. And I didn't heed my roar. I got the brick in the face. But trust when I say it is not for naught. It is not for naught. He is calling you to something greater than you can. There's majesty in what you're doing. The fact that even in the midst of your storm, you thought it not robbery to literally minister to women incarcerated that needed to hear a word. He placed you. He placed you to be a balm in Gilead, like literally. Don't even concern yourself with the negative thoughts of anybody surrounding that, and certainly don't beat yourself up. Perhaps it was because those women wouldn't be able to hear a word from anybody, somebody that they felt like they were aligned with. And he sent you to be that olive branch for them. Like, count yourself blessed. Count yourself blessed. And then under the tutelage as an apprentice from someone who is so mighty and great and can speak a word into you, this work ain't easy. We do not one part of it. Not easy. Yeah. But say all the time, and I need to get it. God does not call the qualified. He qualifies the called.
Well, first of all, Miss Natania, thank you so much for that, because I caught your live earlier today and it was my first time. And I'm so grateful that I caught it. You, ma'am, I already can see and tell that you have provided a pure space for so many. And I'm honored to be in that space and share that with you. And the one thing that it was interesting because I didn't, as things were taking place, it was almost like I immediately shut down and left this physical and entered the spiritual, and I had no choice but to stay there. And I felt God's presence from start to finish. And it's funny now because, again, TV mentioned that I do tarot. And for those out there, because I know a lot of people, they like to
I think you chipped out a little. I think she chipped out. I can't hear.
I think so. I'm here. I'm just working back in the studio, and she might be having some Wi-Fi issues. You know, it's she down in the deep south. I'm gonna put it to you this way. You know, street lights go out where she lives, down in the bayou. So we could be having some issues, but in the midst of all of that, I just
love
wanted to take a nice little pause right quick and just remind people that we're all going through something right now. We're all going to be tested.
Yes, we will.
And encouraging each other is the smartest way to deal with all of this. Because in that encouragement, you can find strength in one another. You know, I'm sure there are days when Natania was too tired to keep this up.
Yes.
She's been dealing with this longer than some people have been married. Some people got married after this happened to her, had children, had a divorce, and now are remarried, and she's still fighting the same fight.
Yes. Indeed.
My son only lived 25 years, and this is how long she's been doing this. Imagine what that's really like, the weight of that, and to still be being questioned, and still be being disrespected, and still be being gaslit. It takes a lot, and that's why I wanted us to come together for a brief moment and talk about what's going on with these young women. And when I say these young women, I am speaking of Adria English and Lamisha Fuller. Everything that Natania Rueben has done for these women has been exactly what God has led her to do. We both believe the same thing. We believe that they have been victimized. Now, we cannot speak to all of the details of what happened to them. And as you just heard from a clinical medical professional, it really doesn't matter.
Right.
What matters is how they heal. And that's what's going to make the work that my organizations, crueltyfreeartistry.org, and my women's ministry program, WCW, Women for Christ and Spiritual Warfare. It is our objective to make sure that when we have these conversations with these survivors, that we're not focusing on their trauma, but we're focusing on their triumph.
Right. Absolutely. And that's
not what you've been through. It is how you come out. Some of the greatest, finest, most beautiful weapons were forged in the hottest fires.
I tell you, I identify with Daniel in the Bible. I done been through the fire and I do not smell like smoke. Child, I don't even smell like barbecue. Okay? And I'm telling you, it has been difficult. Many a day I felt overwhelmed. But I always had, God was so, His majesty is so great. He always made sure that I could, even when I lifted my head up from feeling low, I could look over and see one of my children and wipe it all away. Wipe it all away. I couldn't afford to be left my greatest self. I have to be a mother. I'm charged with the duty of rearing these amazing children and ushering them into adulthood. Couldn't fall short of that. And so I was eternally grateful that I had something and someone, and that was my children.
Grace is a mother as well, and she's a wonderful one. I love the magical relationship that she has with her kids. It reminds me of me with my kids and my godchildren. Always doing
Thank
art
you.
and crafts, always doing some kind of painting, always doing something with them that's artistic. And what I love most about that is that when you have that kind of relationship where you lean into the kinetic, God-given genius of your children that is in all of our children,
Mm.
it gives you a different kind of balance in your relationship. You know, if you and your children have a respectful friendship, but still understand what authority is and that everyone has a position in the role, there's no reason you can't be an authoritarian as a parent and still be a friend.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So I went through a stage where I did use corporal punishment in my home with my children. It was used on me and it was used on my father. To show you the evolution, I would spank my kids. My dad, he deal with us like a combat fight.
Mm.
His father used to tie him to a tree and beat him with a horse whip.
Mm.
His father was born on the plantation, and he was really beaten with whips.
Mm.
So clearly, these are things that are passed down from generation to generation.
Yes.
What I will say is, in the midst of my child rearing journey, I saw the harm in it. And even my father came to me and said, I wish I had never taught any of you how to spank a child. He said, I was wrong. Shouldn't have done that. He was like, as intelligent a family as we are, we should have been able to talk everything in.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so wild to hear him say that after my childhood, but it was so great to hear him say that after my childhood.
Indeed.
Mm.
You know, so I think sometimes as parents, we harbor an unnatural guilt and an unnatural disappointment in ourselves for the moments that we let our kids down, whether we use corporal punishment or not. And, you know, I have to go back and remember what it must be like for God looking at us.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Has there
Yes.
ever been a moment where God has looked at us as his children and said, did I go wrong somewhere? You know, like, we forget that part, that we're children, all of us too.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Among us hasn't said that. And just because of my choice to not hit didn't mean they didn't do stuff. Oh, they did stuff. Trust them.
Yeah.
But I just saw fit. It made me recollect what I had to endure, and I didn't like it. And I told you, it goes back to me feeling, even though when I was a kid, my mind, I was grown. I was like, what you hit me for? and I felt
It's funny.
necessary. So I decided, I made it when I first found out I was pregnant, I said, I have some things to think about. What tactics will I use that were used with me? Will I look at things and say, okay, this was fundamentally right, even though I didn't care for it? Or this was fundamentally wrong, I abhor it, it's out of here, I'm not using that technique. Or somewhere half and half in the middle. And that's just a conscious decision I made. But it's just indicative of how I walk through life. I'm always having a conscious thought about every single thing. Some people say I overthink, quite possibly so. But for me, that's my baseline. That's what works, you know? And my kids look back and it's like, yo, Ma, like, thank you. I remember one time I got mad at Nirvana and I was like, oh, that's it. I'm going to whoop you. She looked at me and was like, you don't even kids. I walked away. I was like, what? I was looking for something. She was like, Mommy, you don't hate me. Please. That's that's not believable. And she was right. I don't. So, you know, we use what works for us. But I always say there's nothing wrong with reassessing who we are, how we've done things, and change only for the better.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
and it's interesting that you both say that in that moment, because that's the approach that I learned immediately. And I'm very thankful for my children because they taught me things about life in this world that no one else could have ever been able to show me. Like, they taught me of my parents, where they come from. And I had to give them an understanding that I knew that they would not be able to give me because they don't have that approach. And it's funny how I hope that we can have these conversations a lot more often, because our generation, I want them to understand that our parents they weren't perfect. They weren't intended to be perfect. But as the children and the next generation, it's our job to see them for who they are and accept them. That way we can be a better version of them, because that is, in fact, what they want us in the end. And like, to use corporal punishment for an example, yeah, I had old school African parents. Well, that belt was there. The belt was there. Don't let you be one of the older kids, because you're getting that belt for the younger ones too. And it taught me to where I only had to spank my children a few handful of times. And it was because they were putting themselves in danger. And I would explain to them, the reason why you're getting disciplined this way is because you will get hurt in this way outside that door. And it's so funny because they're still little now. I don't need to punish them corporately at all. I'm grateful for it. I'm just grateful for the lessons that I've learned from them already, and the lessons that they're going to continue teaching me. And I tell them all the time, listen, you're here for a purpose. And as your mother, it's my job to make sure that you find your purpose. I'm not here to make you anything else you're destined to be. My job is to make sure I help you get there. And I tell them all the time, I'm honored and I'm thankful to be their mother, because they've taught me so much understanding about people. And it's like you guys said earlier, we are all those children that we all always were. And I think now the audience can understand why I call you children, because we're all that. Some of us are broken children. Some of us are children that have been abandoned. Some of us are lost children. Some of us are overly loved children. But at the end of the day, we're all still those children. And
that's right.
My mission in life has always been, and I hope that I continue to walk that path, is to make sure that we, as those children, we get what we've always needed. Because there are so many children walking around here for so long that don't have what they need. And they're just trying to get. And that experience that I've just gone through, that was the perspective that I had the entire time. I'm like, look at all these beautiful children in this terrible place. And none of them want to be there. Like, I didn't want to be there, but none of us wanted to be there. So what do we do while we're here? We have to take care of each other. We got to be there for each other. And I got cut out of here. Listen, when God get to speaking, the devil get to playing. Because right when I said that daily bread, child, it was a little pamphlet that was there, and we were reading from it. We were reading it daily. And, you know, I always made sure that we read it because, again, I was in there with a lot of mothers. That was all of our breaking point. We wanted to be with our babies. And I get home. My father yesterday, for everybody who's curious, I have a Catholic background. So yes, I grew up in a Catholic home. My father has 22 versions of the Holy Bible. He gives me a book, Bread of Each Day. It is the daily bread that I was reading in lockup. He has the entire book, and I have it open right now. And today, November 23rd, in the world, not of it. I wanted to read this part to everybody, just this quick one. With our feet on the ground, we are admonished to set our affection on things above, not on things on the earth. We are risen with Christ and are to seek those things which are above. Christ sitteth on the right hand of God.
That's right.
Like, it's amazing. It's amazing how God moves everything and works everything out for us. And trust me, children, like, we're not perfect in remembering that, because we all know that things can get sticky and heavy. And the clouds of earth often obscure the sun, but by the wings of faith we can rise above the clouds and dwell in the eternal sunlight. And as funny as it may sound, I'm actually very thankful for the experience I just went through, because it gave me, sorry, I have a little one asking for tape. And I'm very thankful again for that, because I'm very thankful for the light that I was able to experience while I was there. I'm grateful that I'm here today to share it all with you. And like I told you all before, children, so many of you have a purpose, a beautiful purpose, and I want you all to stand firm in it and walk towards it, encompass it, and be it. Because it's your destiny, and I don't want any of us to miss it.
And you know what's not lost on me when you said that you read the Diddy read with the ladies, not lost on me that maybe, like you said, none of them wanted to be there. None of you guys wanted to be there. But look at it from this perspective. Some of them probably perceive themselves the inability to break free from whatever put them there, whatever keeps them there, whatever brings them back. Your presence might have been the key to unlock the doors at first, if nothing else, to their minds, so that eventually the doors unlock to them permanently. And so Asheo to you for that.
Thank you, Tukopa Mocha. And I'm humbled by those words. I am, because there were so many of them. Like the way we all exchanged numbers. We were like, baby, when you get out, make sure you text me, make sure you text me, make sure you text me, make sure you call me. Because I told and it's wild because we were like 15, 16 deep in holding. Like it was rough in there. And the laughs that we share, like we laugh so much together. And the family and the community that we built in there, like I cherish every single one of those things. Every one of them. And I'm waiting for all of them.
Y'all are accountability partners now. How beautiful is that? So beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah, I told them, I'm like, some of y'all, listen, none of us are going back, and no deputies, boy, they're mean. They were like, some of y'all are coming back. I told every last one of them, y'all rebuke that, wash that off and leave that in here. Y'all, we all have a beautiful purpose. Y'all are going to do great things, and I can't wait. We're going to link up. Everybody's going to have their yearly get together, all of that. Like, they were so beautiful. And
remember, you stand in a mighty group. There's a lot of important people in history that were in Malcolm X, Rosa Parks, Martin Luther King, our Jaguar.
Yeah.
Lots of
and
move the world.
Yeah.
So jail, I don't care how strong the metal bars are in the jail, they can't hold the true spirit. They cannot hold God's children. They can't. Just by virtue of the fact that you are not willing to let go or give up, you already bust through the gates. You got you in there to be a key to unlock the minds, the spirits, and the heart of women who perceive themselves stuck. That's what I keep getting. You're a key.
Well, thank you. And
we don't wrestle. My favorite scripture, I say it all the time, and you don't know it. You because you came to, and I don't know if I said it today, but Ephesians 6:12. 6:12 is my birthday, June 12th. God told me one day every scripture that corresponded with my birthday. And I suggest everybody do it. I believe there's a message there. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, and against spiritual wickedness in high places.
Yes.
It tells you they couldn't hold you, even though they took you inside. You went and unlocked the key where they won't be able to hold those women for the rest of their life. Trust me.
Yes.
And so God, we don't have to seek God where we go. He's everywhere with us.
Hey, Natania, Grace, Y'all hear me?
Hey,
Hey, I just had to go get my notes. I'm about to spit from the Survivor Scrolls. You know what I'm saying? Because y'all inspired me to say a few things. I know Jag had mentioned she doesn't like that term mentor, and yeah, that term mentor comes from the Greek. It goes back to them.
Absolutely.
And that's why we got all these Diddy parties because y'all do the research on Saturnalia and all that. Mentor. Why are we touring men?
Right.
But this goes for Natania, Grace, Jag as well. I'm just spitting from what Dr. Wade Nobles, he's one of our griots or one of our teachers. He said some of the ancient names of African teachers are Tajeti, Karihab, or Jegna. It's also terms like griot, also Jegna or Jegnat. And in order to be considered one, is you've been through 6 things. You're tested in struggle or battle, which all 3 of you have definitely been tested. You guys demonstrate an extraordinary and unusual fearlessness. Number 3 is you show determination and courage in protecting his or her people, land, or culture. So, that goes for all 3 of y'all for that. 4 is show diligence and dedication to our people, which you guys have done. Produce an exceptional high quality of work, which, Natania, I mean, you come on. You've been through a lot, and I know you got your book, you got things. You have that proof. As well as Jag, she has her book. 6 is, dedicate yourself to the protection, defense, nurturance, and development of our young by advancing our people, place, and culture. So all of you guys have displayed those qualities, and you qualify to be considered a Jagna or Tajeti or Jannah. So I'm just saying, throwing that out there. Like I said, that's straight from the Survivor Scrolls. I had to go back and get my notes.
Asheo.
Yes.
That I need to be able to. I need that. I need to be able to put that up. That's very important.
That's why I love him.
Shout out. Listen.
Yes.
Every time I ask him to get in his bag, he gets in his bag. No, because he has so much energy and wisdom. I love it. But the thing is, the power that he projects when he gets into his word and he gets to spitting or he just gets to speaking, it's so lovely to have. And that's why we're going to become a group.
Hey.
Yeah, we're going to be
he's got the studio. He's putting the studio together here in the house now. I get to record at home.
That's beautiful.
I'm telling you, Miss Chalet, best advice ever. Sleep with the producer. She was right. I got everything right here. Best friend, best producer, best in everything. He's never made me not want to eat my meal. I always get to finish my food. Beautiful. He's just great, and I've been praying, big sis. I'm praying.
And then let me spit something else real quick, because the reason why I wasn't going to chime in or anything. I know Jag wanted me to kind of like close out, but I'm going to say this.
Yeah, I do want you to close out because you put the claps on me and said that I can't drop the load. I was about to drop the bomb.
Well,
and you said I can't do it.
Well, I mean, this is.
So on that note, I'm gonna drop down and I'm gonna leave you to deal with all of that.
No, this is. You didn't have to drop. We got some stuff in the works, and I was just going to say this in regards to what's going on with these other victims who are coming out, and certain things are not. It's just. I'm not saying someone's not telling the truth or anything of that nature. Just we've done our research. and we've seen some things. So it's just like we just got to point things out. And I mean, I just kind of wanted to just speak on activating inner genius, because see, we're talking about these victims, and we're talking about things that are being impactful on our culture right now, or our society, and it's not an agreeable form or fashion. So when you got people coming out and they're like, oh, I'm the biggest victim. The only people that I know that can capitalize off of victimhood like that, I ain't gonna say, but y'all know what it is. Like, if you, and you spoke on it too, Natania, as far as like not being a victim, not considering yourself a victim, but being a victor. And shout out to Dr. Megan, she was saying the same thing as far as like, you know, not dwelling in that victimhood state and becoming more than that, being a victor. And but I was just saying there's 4 principles for activating that inner genius. So you be in an environment where your talent is needed and revered, and your mindset is focused on agreeable things. It's not focused on anything disagreeable. So the people that went through something, you should take that, what you went through, and make that your testimony to the world to better enhance our people. Number 2 is you're not driven by competition. So again, who's the biggest victim? I mean, you had people in your chat, Natania, that were saying, "Oh, don't let Jag do this and drag you here." It's like, what are we in? You guys are not in competition, not at all. You know what I'm saying? And the other thing is, you know, the unique approach. So that ties in with what I just said. We're not in competition. You have a unique approach. You have a unique situation. Jag has her situation. Grace just went through what she went through. She's going to have a unique approach on that. And finally, well, I'll tap in on that. It's like you tap into what makes you you. You're not trying to be Jag. I know you can you'll let them have it. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And Jag, we already know. don't come for Jag. But you tap into what makes you you. Unique approach. And finally, the positive impact on the world. That's basically how I was going to end it with what you do for others impacts what you do for you. And that goes along with what Dr. Megan was saying earlier. And again, you guys, I mean, great live. I appreciate all 4 of you guys for being on, all 4 of you sisters, you queens, for being on and speaking and spitting. What y'all been on, and just keep up the good work. Just beware, you got people out here taking advantage of this whole situation, and they are with the whole Diddy situation, and they're just doing it not in good faith, not in good faith at all. You get what I'm saying? So that's all I wanted to say. I'm gonna drop down.
Well, no, don't drop down.
We appreciate you. I just want to say also, just an addendum to thank you for being you. You are super dope. I thank you for loving my sister so much and in this fullness. There is no greater thing than a man covering a woman so that she can blossom and be who she needs to be. That is the greatest single-handed act of love. That's the greatest. And you're not in competition. You see how people jump into the chat and want to create this harmony. That's why I shut it down. I always tell people I'm the spirit, but baby, the flesh is fully alive, honey. And I collect and gather people every day. I said there will be no of Jag on my page. That's my sister. Ain't nobody bully me. My mama couldn't do it for 54 years. What she's doing is not. She's invited into this space, and she's coming and giving a very, very substantive and erstwhile point of view that needs to be said. I will never disavow her. When nobody was saying Natania, Jag was saying Natania. Nobody. So nobody can come in and tell me, and I'll be like, you know what? No, kick rocks. That's why I told him, go that way. See yourself YouTube highway. No way. Good luck on your journey. Because as for me and my channel, I stand with my. I stand. and that's it. They don't have to like it.
Okay.
Dislikes for a lot of things. Won't be the first.
Well, I wasn't expecting this to be a 2-hour live. But we are over an hour and a half.
Okay.
And I just want to say this because I keep seeing certain comments coming up. And there's a couple of shout outs. Shout out to my mods. Shout out to the lounge. She was over there killing it in her own live and then came right over here. The dedication with our new moderator family is gorgeous.
Beautiful.
I also want to say shout out to Lo, who is the number one nerder for the Dopest Nerd channel. And
shout out to my
yes. Did you want to send a shout out to your number one mod over there?
Listen, she held me down from the beginning. Nobody can tell me nothing about her. Even if I'm having a I always get a Grand Rising Queen. Hope you're having a wonderful day. It is refreshing to have someone who is genuinely concerned about your day. And I have 2 new mods, Charlotte and Lakeisha. Shout out to my moderator family. We work together. We are in, and I love it. And shout out to your mods and your shout out to the whole Jaguar Nation.
Yes, gotta love it. Listen to me. We almost cracked 1,000 in here tonight out of nowhere. Salute to everybody who came from all of the social media platforms. Thank you for being here on the Jaguar Wright Effect. Does anyone have final thoughts that they would like to share? But I do want to address one thing. Mm-hmm. People were in the chat, and shout out to the Justy Show. Welcome, love. And shout out to our boy Jay Mizik, who mods over at Set in the West. He's going to be going live. I'm gonna make sure of it because he got a lot of stuff to talk, and we got to get over there and talk about the new Kendrick album because that's kicking up a lot of dust. Because we do all the real hip hop, especially anything involving all 9 elements of hip hop over at Set in the West. But people kept asking, are we going to address Misha? Are we going to address lies? Are we going to address this? Are we going to address that? I'm going to say you need to get into the replay gang mode and see how this live started. Because it started with Dr. Megan McGlover. See, there is a nasty plot that is going on. There are YouTube CCs that are in collaboration with one another to re-victimize women who we know are victims. It is not our job to shame them for what they've said or what they're saying, what they may or may not be confused about, what they may or may not have said. It is not our job to judge whether or not they have legal representation or not, whether or not they have a book deal, whether or not, that is none of our affair. That's not what we're in it for. We know these women are victims.
Right.
We are not going to re-victimize them. And whatever things there are discrepancies about, listen to me, what don't come out in the wash, it's going to come out in the rinse. But at the end of the day, it's all going to get clean. So if you're really interested in knowing about these things that you think are lies, why don't you go address them on the channels where you heard those lies? Because it is those content creators that should be answering these questions about why they put up lies.
Well, we know
you can say what you want. Now, let me finish. You can say what you want to say. But how about rather than y'all going to Gene's channel, going to the Dopest Nerd channel, coming to the Jaguar Wright Effect, going to all these channels, stand. And by the way, we all don't get along. All of us whistleblowers. Some of us got our own issues. Diddy sending cease and desist to Shine, and I had to call it out over a Store My Road channel. Shine still owes this woman here.
That would be me.
He still owes her. Meanwhile, we got all kinds of haters talking about, oh, she ran through that 1.6 million. How do you know it's 1.6 million? How do you know? Stop pocket watching. It's none of your business.
The joke is that they're wrong on that number too, but I didn't know that he filed a cease and desist on Shine. Did?
Oh, from jail, girl, right after court. While they were sitting there, He found out that the documentary hit on Hulu, and when Shine said that he was a sacrificial lamb and took the hit, Diddy sent him a cease and desist and asked him to do a Piers Morgan on his documentary.
Hey, now that's somebody who's got connections up in there. How are you able to cease and desist from lockup? Wow, okay.
Figure out how he got it out on the machine on the kiosk. Diddy
for real? They wouldn't even give us water. Like, Lord, okay.
I wasn't even aware of that. I didn't even know.
Yeah.
That
Diddy decided to see.
Natania,
say it again.
That documentary, they featured you a little bit.
I heard that. Listen, do you know how many people came to my thing? I said, I'm going to watch it today.
They had you in it, Natania, and they didn't put you in the credit.
Listen, and didn't get my consent to use my likeness or my voice.
Mm-hmm.
And are in violation of the Son of Sam law of New York. You cannot profit from your crime.
Well, you cannot.
Run me from
Well, I stated that on my channel. I said that he never compensated you.
No.
I do know the EP. Now I know the EP of that project. I'll reach out, and I already reached out to him and said, "Hey, what's up with that?" But I got no answer.
See. Somebody said,
and I promise you, it wasn't Charmin.
Listen, people keep violating. I didn't see it, but once we get off alive, I'm going to commit an evening going to watch that.
I'm not going to call you just for that. I'll call you in the morning.
Yes.
Because, honey, he looked like Barack Obama. He looked like Barry from the back of some of those shots. And I'm like, he reminds me of Barry. Come to think about it.
He's trying to evoke that look so people can, yes, we can.
Yeah, I can't believe.
He's gonna become prime minister. Trust me.
So there was the issue of something that said if you were convicted of a crime, and this is what the party in opposition to him, put in effect. If you were convicted of a crime, you could not make it to the seat of the prime minister. And so that is why he's on this. This is nothing but a propaganda agenda.
Exactly.
Get his criminal thing overturned, but I wouldn't take my.
That's like Jussie Smollett.
Somebody told me that at the end of his, at the end of the documentary, he kind of changed what he said or something like that. It's because I wouldn't take my foot off his neck. He walked around for so many years. I didn't do anything. Yes, you did. You shot Julius Jones in the shoulder, and I played that audio to remind them. He tried to. Somebody showed me on Breakfast Club that he was like, "What's the guy's name? What's the podcast?" I was like, "What?"
No, Combat Jack.
I stuck it on your page, sucker. You know it's Combat Jack. But it's these games. I don't like the game.
They had Charlemagne in that documentary talking about how great it all is, and I'm sitting there like, see, it just. You might as well have called Vlad and had him sit. Well, no, Vlad was a part of it too. It was
okay.
Now, Natania, I'm really good friends with the EP.
I enjoyed him as a Hasidic judo with the little.
I honestly think just get with her and let's try to make it right because I don't think she has nothing to do with the whole thing or whatever. But yeah, let's try to make it right.
And there is a something in society that says once you give someone a platform and they address a particular thing, you have to give their counterpoint a platform as well.
Well, let's talk to Anscape about that.
Okay.
I'll tell you this. He likes it when you're scraping and scrambling. Shy, that's what he likes. That's why he sent you that cease and desist on that toilet, baby. He likes you looking good, Daddy. You're looking good, Daddy.
Something about that scraping and scrambling always sounds very violent to me.
When you read the lawsuit, it feels just Diddy-fied. It's just
all I can hear in my head is "wipe me down." It comes across as so nasty. I don't know what it is.
Oh no. Oh, and by the way, there was another content creator in here who I really love and appreciate. Kadisha Lynn, thank you for stopping by. Thank you for the super stickers and super chats. Love you very much.
Oh yeah, her content is on point. You know what I'm saying? She be hitting them.
Yeah, and a lot of content creators here on YouTube, have been running her content, please start making sure that you mention that you got it from the Khadijah Lynn channel. As hard as that woman works, y'all better stop acting a fool. Oh my God. Yeah. But so final thoughts from anyone, because we're almost at the 2-hour mark and I wanted to cap it here. But yeah, if anybody is expecting us to talk about lives, we're not interested in that.
That's one of my.
We're interested in healing.
Shout out to her. And all I have to say in totality is thank you guys for having me. It's a pleasure to always be in the company and presence of real ones. I love a real one, baby, any day. You could call me a biatch. Just, I respect your honesty. Everybody ain't gotta like me. I love a real one. So thank you. Somebody says great, but that sounds
Oh yeah.
How do you spell it? Khadijah Lynn?
Yeah, remember I kept calling her Katie Shaylin.
Yeah.
So it's KADISHALYNN, I believe it is. Khadijah Lynn. I kept calling her Katie Shaylin. I don't know why. I got real country with it. Katie Shaylin. Bonnie and
Pittsburgh education. That's what it is.
I hooked on phonics, baby. But listen, I get called everything. I've been a Natalia, Natasha, Natisha, and it's how I grew up. My grandmother called me Natisha.
Thank you, lad. There it is. See?
Okay.
That's it. I believe that's it. That's her channel, Khadijah Lynn, and I called it Katie Shaylin. And I apologize.
Oh no, I would have sounded country too. I like that spelling. It's pretty.
Isn't it gorgeous?
It is. I would have messed that all the way up too.
A shout out to her and shout out to the Just D Show. And don't forget to get over to my mods channels, Kaza Bear. Don't forget stay over there at the lounge. The lounge, they on the Diddy watch. They Diddy down. They're here for the downfall of Diddy. They giving you minute by minute, blow by blow, as well as her husband, Jamil Peterson, I Am Company, who is also a mod for Jaguar Country. And don't forget, Sean Atwood family. It's all a part of our family. Also, our number one mod, Ayasha Lachey, Natural
Queen Mother.
N-E, Natural O-N-E, right here on YouTube. Number one mod. Is there anyone else? Oh yeah, to Z Banger, also a mod. Get over there, subscribe to this channel. We're gonna make sure that we create a community of truth. So there is an option, even here in the devil's layer, that they call this red app the YouTube. So we're about to close it up. Does anybody got anything to say? Oh, and I was gonna drop the name of the YouTuber that I know is scamming on them girls, but my fiance said I gotta wait.
Listen to your fiance.
Yeah, there's no need to put anybody on blast, but it's gonna come. We got a lot of good things coming. Y'all may want to stay tuned for an announcement that we got some things we're moving in with Jaguar, but give us. We'll wait till after the holidays. And I'm gonna say this because the trolls been trolling. Y'all know how they call me all kind of names and whatever, try to dox and all that. Now, people don't know me. Jag, you know me, but people don't know me. And I do the hip hop thing on some, But when y'all come check out, when we do the review for GNX, shout out to Kendrick. In fact, I need to call.
Kendrick better give me my car. Because that's my car.
That's your car? Okay.
He stole my car.
Now, what we're gonna do is this, because I got a line to Kendrick.
I've had 3 Grand Nationals in my life, and before they threw me in the hospital and started pumping me with Thorazine and stuff, and all kinds of other psychedelic drugs, I was about to put the money together to go buy it in the desert. That very car, and now I know where it went. Kendrick stole it. I want my car back, sir.
All right, well, I'm gonna holler at the homie.
I'll buy your album. I'll buy 50 of them, but I want my car back.
Listen, I'm gonna holler at the homie Art. He used to teach over at Centennial. I used to live down the street from Centennial. That's the school where Kendrick went to. And in fact, Kendrick was inspired by the homie Art. In fact, Jag, I gotta get you over his channel. He wants to do a painting of you.
Oh,
like a straight Palo Santo, and then he's gonna do a color one. But his name is Art Newstel, and he used to teach, and he knows Kendrick. We're gonna get that lined up. We're gonna hook that up. But that's what I'm saying. Like, people don't know how deep I go, and I'm gonna announce when we do the Kendrick album review. That album, it dropped. It's hot. Everybody's talking about it.
That album, is pure fire. John, listen to me. John the Baptist, Holy Ghost, pure fire.
Now I do the hip hop, but I'm really into raising the vibration of the people and the empowerment aspect of it. And shout out to my master teacher, Siddiqui Bakari, and he gave me a whole lot of game. So I'm actually, I got another channel. That's why I'm gonna start pumping really, because the hip hop stuff is whatever, but I think our people really need to be empowered. That's all I'm. So stay tuned for what we about to drop for this Jaguar, and stay tuned for my empowerment channel, which it's already there, but y'all get it in a minute.
Oh no, they need to get into it, because what you got to share with them is going to be very groundbreaking. You have great babas and tutors that have skilled you and learned you up in the ways of how to be a true community leader. People need to get involved. They need to get invested. And don't forget me, Professor Grip, Siddiqui Bakari, in December. Get your pre-registered ticket for the private Zoom immediately. It is going down. We're talking about everything from the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air to what really happened in Nipsey Hussle. Y'all don't want to miss this. It's going to be 5. That's on my mama's mama.
Griffin and Jag, just hit her website if you're interested. It's limited, but we're going to actually do an in-person one in Atlanta beginning of the year, but this is a virtual, it's limited, bro. That's all I'm gonna say.
Well,
Jag and Professor Griff, we made it happen.
Natania, if you want to come, I'm buying your ticket.
Absolutely, I will be in the house. Absolutely.
That one, yours is on me.
My maiden name is Griff, so that's my maiden. I've always felt like there was some type of link there. I've been following Griff for a long time. I've always.
Somebody wants to share that info. Basically, go to thejaguarwright.com and just a blurb will pop up in regards to like questions or whatever. If you're interested in just getting on that live, just hit the hey, I'm interested in getting on the live with Griff and Jaguar. Just do that.
Oh, it's gonna be amazing.
See all the salacious stuff and all this Diddy stuff and all that. I mean, come on, there's more to life than the soap opera shit.
Right.
We really got to start putting each other up on what's really good and what's really going on. So that's where we at with it.
Ashe, I believe in that 100%.
All right, let's get ready to shut this down. But someone had a great idea, and thank you for the $10 super sticker from the brother. Says, keep doing what you're doing, and Christ will reward you. That's not a brother, that's our sister Toy Wood. Thank you, ma'am. And you know what? I would love it, Natania, if you would bring us to a close.
Hey, I will.
I would love that. I couldn't think of a better way to end my Sabbath with such a powerhouse, such a warrior for God, and we all blessed to have you every time you put your word on it. So everybody, get into your prayer mode as you see fit. And Sister Natania Rueben is going to take us on home today. All right.
Asheo, Spirit of the living God, we thank you for coming into this space with us and always being where your people are. Father God, we come to you in repentance for any sin committed is a sin against you, O Lord. You know our hearts and our minds, our will and our way. All glory and honor are yours. We only ask that you continue to lay out a smooth foundation for us to continue walking according to the path of right set out before us. You know our hearts, God. You know our intent and mission is to elevate the people and bring the masses into a high vibrational frequency. We don't want to do anything that's low vibrational. There's enough of that out there. You understand, and we understand you have charged with bringing souls to the light. And it is that we continue to do. All honor and mercy and glory are yours. Please continue to rain down a fresh manna on us so that we will always speak from the vein of your voice and not ours. In the matchless name of your son, Yeshua, amen, amen, and amen. Ashe.
Asheo. I want to thank you all for coming by.